Hello and welcome to Tales from Cuckoo Land. I'm Gaynah, this is my dog Bunny, and we are here today to talk about all the good crafting stuff. This is kind of like part two because I had too much to talk about on my last podcast that I decided to press stop and then press start again and pretend that this is a whole new day. It's not, it's literally moments later, but with the magic of YouTube, it's a whole new day. It's a whole new video. All the same issues from the last video will probably afflict this one, which is noise from dogs, interruptions, my children, my phone beeping, someone coming to the door, me forgetting words, all that jazz. Moving on and not remembering my train of thought and not coming back and finishing a sentence, you know, all that sort of stuff. Right, but you need to go down. Whee! For those of you that haven't seen my last podcast, I'll just quickly tell you what I'm wearing, my knitted jumper. This is the Clandon sweater, which I did as a test knit. However, I'm a bad test knitter because I didn't stick to the brief. Instead of just doing a texture joke, I was enjoying the texture so much, I took it all the way down the arms and all the way down the body. I will link the video where I talk all about this in greater detail for you to watch if you are interested. Sticking with the knitting theme, I did a daft thing that I'm delighted by, absolutely thrilled, couldn't be more chuffed with myself, feel like an absolute rebel. I've been saying for years, I know that I've been saying since probably 2017 that I wanted to use up my stash and I wanted less stuff, but it seems to me that nobody listens to me, least of all myself. Now, people still send me gifts. I say I don't want gifts, and I actually don't want gifts. I really don't. I promise you I really don't. But then when they do arrive, there is something extremely delightful about that. There is no denying. There is something very, very, very delightful about receiving gifts. And there's something very delightful about receiving gifts to yourself, especially when you find an absolute bona fide reason to overrule yourself. My bona fide reason to overrule myself this time was the fact that Jodie from Tatty Cats and Yarny Tales passed away at the beginning of February, and it's had, as it would, obviously, quite a big effect on me in the way that I feel about my decision to not buy. It's had an effect on me in so many different ways, but particularly because she had such a massive yarn stash that she always joked she would never live long enough to be able to knit through. What a joke. No one could have predicted what happened. And so she has gone and left a giant stash of all these yarns that she was looking forward to knitting and wanted to enjoy. And it made me realise that yes, I have a lot of yarn, but not all of it is making me desperate to knit it. And by refusing to buy anything else that I really want to try, if I die, I'll never have the joy of trying the new yarn. So I ignored myself and I went and hit the shops. And the reason why I hit the shops is because my friend had done that, Sarah One Daisy on Instagram. She pulled us all down the Nutiden rabbit hole. And so myself, Sarah and Sarah from Yarn Mugs here on YouTube couldn't resist. So we thought, let's do a knit along, and we're doing the Gro Shawl together. Stunning. There it is. Sarah Daisy is doing hers in a beigey, dark, hot chocolatey brownie colour. You don't get dark beige, do you? You get, it's a warm brown hot chocolatey colour. And Sarah Muggs is doing hers in a beautiful dusky blush pink. And I've gone for this. Look at this! Comes in plates like this. Wow! That's ever so bright on screen. And you need to knit this shawl with holding 2 strands together. So I've wound it up into balls in 2 strands. Now people shy away from Nutiden or any unspun yarn because it comes apart so easily, like this. Terrifying. However, it goes together really easily as well. There we go. That's actually back together enough to knit it. See? And when you've knitted it, it becomes a really sturdy, robust piece of fabric. Isn't that incredible? And it's so light and warm, and yeah, there's a prickle. It's not a tickle. I can't do with tickle. That's itchy, but a prickle, I'm fine with that. I could wear that next to my skin. Maybe not if I got hot and sweaty, it would probably itch then. So I've been doing the gauge swatches. I'm laughing because I did my first gauge swatch, I think it's that one, and I was so off gauge that I did another gauge swatch, but got confused with my needles and actually did 2 that are exactly the same. At least I'm consistent. So I went up a needle size, did another one, still didn't get gauge. Sarah got gauge immediately, but not me, look. And then I had to go up something like 3 or 4 needle sizes. So I've gone up from a really lovely, what is it? What needle size? 5. And I'm all the way up now to a 6.5. So I've gone 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. So I'm 3 needles bigger. I finally got gauge, but it looks gorgeous. Oh, one of the things I really love about this, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, is of course the smell, because it is sheepy, freshly bathed sheep. And then look, can you see there? You get these little bits of garden. Oh, it fell off. Get little bits of garden, little bits of field. Because it's so unprocessed, which I absolutely love. Love that it's so unprocessed and it's so light and it's going to be big and it's going to be warm. I find with superwash yarns, they keep you warm because they hold in your heat, but they don't give you warmth. But yarns like Plotu Lopi, Let Lopi, Nutiden, and all of those other sort of unspuns or woolen spun or the fluffy yarns, they really do give you heat. You can feel the warmth coming off them almost. I know it's not coming off the fibre, but it feels that way. I'm so sorry about him yelling. Unfortunately, yet again, it's a Sunday. This is the time slot that I found this week to do this podcast, and Wilf's gaming. Actually, he's gaming with his brother Bill, which is very sweet. Bill doesn't make as much noise as Wilf does though. So that's all to come, but I do need to finish my Maybury cardigan first, really. I mean, there's no rules here, but I'd like to at least get a sleeve finished on my Maybury cardigan before I get going with that Gro Shawl. But I am very, very much looking forward to it, and I'm very pleased with the fact that I disobeyed myself and I bought more yarn. It wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't horrendously expensive. The postage wasn't great. Dog's barking. The postage wasn't great, but I was prepared to take the hit. I felt rebellious. Oh. A while ago, I found a tablecloth big enough to fit my kitchen table. My kitchen table it's not a giant kitchen table. It comfortably seats 6 along the 2 sides. You could squeeze 8 in, but that would be a bit of a shoulder bashing situation, but we've done it plenty of times. And then you can get 1 on either end, so it's somewhere between an 8 and 10 seater, so we're not talking absolute giant. And I found a tablecloth available for a decent price, Indian block printed. Cannot remember where I got it from. Very angry, not very angry, but a bit annoyed with myself about that, because I would like to order another one. And I ordered it as a 12-seater, knowing that it was going to be way, 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 way too big, and that I would be able to take the offcut, because I'll just cut the end off and rehem it and make napkins. So I've made 6 napkins with mitered corners. I haven't done the best job, but I'm pretty pleased with it. It's good enough. That match my tablecloth. I'm really very happy with myself and my ingenuity and my frugality. It kind of makes up for the fact that I've just gone spendy on yarn that I didn't need but very much wanted. Yeah, so napkins, and they're nice and soft, and I love this Indian block print business, and I have such an appreciation for it now that I have done this block printing fabric myself and discovered that it is not as easy as they make it look. I was sent recently an invitation to accept a product from a company called Cute Bee. I've been getting a lot of invitation emails recently for all manner of things, and my usual response is no, thank you. Really kind of you to reach out and offer me a very tiny battery powered chainsaw that looks like a child might play with it. No thank you. But sometimes I think, maybe let's look into it a little bit more deeply, like I did with some jewellery that I was sent, that I talked about on my Gaynajane channel. And other times I just say, yes please, immediately, straight away. So Cute Bee got in touch with me, and the reason why I was excited is because I'd already seen this on Little Drops of Wonderful podcast, Ali's podcast, where she'd done such a sweet little book nook. So they said to me, these guys said, go onto our website and choose one. So I chose this florist. And did I have the most lovely time making it? Yes, I did, and I filmed it. So let's have a look at the making of the Champs-Élysées florist.
And around it matches. It's got this gorgeous sort of dark frame. I put it here, and then I saw that it worked with the blue tiles. So we'll see. And then here's the view from the other side, from the window.
I've finished. I have finished the book Nook. It's adorable. I've got lots of pieces still just that didn't get used. I'm assuming that they just give you spares of things in case they break, which I did break one thing. Ow, my mouth. I did break one thing, but not fully, and it didn't really matter. And I've got a few things that have fallen off that I need to put back in. So are you ready for a little tour? Let's see how we can do this. I'm not 100% sure. It's probably not the best light to do this, but it is the best light to hopefully, although the batteries are a bit weak, show you what it's like when it's lit up. Oh, there we go. I was in the wrong place, guys. You've got to tap just there. Cute. How adorable. It's quite difficult to film it and show you all the details. And I also found it a bit difficult to just get it to anchor on, but it's hardly a big deal, honestly. Right, I'm going to wait for better light to show you this properly, so I'll be back in a bit. And here we have the finished article. I was so happy with it. It's like a 3D puzzle, and the instructions are all there, and they're pretty good. You know, there were a few bits where I thought, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just don't know. But it all worked out in the end. I have found it very difficult to line up the very last thing and get this to sit securely on top. But it doesn't matter, because it's just a cute little ornament that is going to go somewhere in here and make me feel happy every time I look at it. I'm going to take some footage a bit later on of it in the dark, because when you flick, oh, the detail, when you flick this little door handle up and you open the door, oh, has something fallen off? Oh, something, oh, my window, oh, we've been vandalised, everybody. My window's fallen down. Where's that fallen off? I've lost a place where I hang my handbag. But in here, oh, my windows fell out again. There's a little patch that you press. Yeah, and it lights up, and you can't see. I'll show you later on. I'm gonna work out where my handbag's fallen off and stick it back on. We'll work that out. Yeah, I'll show you this in the dark at night time. Oh, I honestly had such a nice time making this thing. It took me probably a couple of hours one afternoon, had a cup of tea, and I just fell into the whole world. It was like, I don't do that tiny play thing. Not because I disapprove of it, but because I'm so practical and often time short that to allow myself to do anything like that is just not something that I would do currently. But I think I would really enjoy it, because I fell into this with such glee and imagination, and just picturing myself living in there, and well, not living in there, but working there and walking around, and just what life would be like in the Champs-Élysées florist. In the back here, you've got this clever little doorway with your battery pack there, which makes it very easy to change your battery. I've got rechargeable ones, of course. Absolutely love that. it would make such a superb gift for anybody creative, anybody a little bit stressed who needs to just get out of their head and into their hands. Honestly, just really great fun. And then you've got this adorable little thing, which honestly I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll find somewhere for it. I want to find somewhere where I can just walk past in the night time and just click the little button on so I can enjoy it. Although we're coming into that season where we never see darkness. It's always bright. Not as bad as Denmark or any place like that, but I just, you know, my eyeballs need darkness and light. The equinox is my best time of year, really, I think. Hello again, Bun. I will link everything below so you can find it all very easily if you want to have a dreamy afternoon making yourself a little book nook. That's what they call them, book nook. Many, many, many thanks to you for watching, returning and all of that stuff, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Thanks again. Bye. Kisses.